Welcome back, everyone. Today we're making a clear concert bag. And this bag is designed so that you can take it into your concert, festival, or any type of event that has bag restrictions. It's the right dimensions, measuring in just under 12 by 12 inches with one pocket, and transparent so you can see everything on the inside. You can make this bag out of different fabrics. It's a super simple design, but if you do plan on taking it to an event, you will want to work with the clear vinyl. This bag is also super easy to make. You can make a ton of these very quick. Found the easy step-by-step tutorial, so if you are new to sewing, you should have no problem. With all that being said, grab that printable pattern and let's get started. Getting started with supplies, you need a 1/4 yard for your main fabric, and this is going to be the clear vinyl, and this vinyl comes in different mill. The thicker you go, the harder it's going to be to work with. You want to find that sweet spot right in the middle where it's not too thick and not too thin, and it's just very easy to work with. You'll need a 1/4 yard for your secondary fabric. This is going to be for the top panel where the drawstring goes, and also for the bottom corner panels. A really good fabric to use that goes along with the vinyl is a nylon ripstop. It's a very durable fabric and also easy to work with. I'm actually going to be using this nylon ripstop paired with a canvas. So like always, feel free to play around with different fabrics and get creative with it. You'll need 2 yards of cord. I'm using a standard parachute cord. You can get this cord in all sorts of styles, so it's super easy to find one that goes along with your fabrics. You may even want over 2 yards depending on how big you want the straps. I like to cut it off and do 1 yard per side, but if you want a looser fitting bag, I would get about 4 yards of cord. So you can do 2 yards and 2 yards. And from there you can kind of trim it up to your preferred size. You'll need 2 eyelets, and you can use any size eyelets. I'm gonna be using a 5/16 eyelet. This is on the bigger side, but I want my drawstring to be very loose with inside the eyelet and move back and forth, so this is why I'm going a little bit bigger. And if you're not sure what size you wanna use, I recommend looking into a size kit. This will come with multiple sizes, so you can kind of play around and see which one you wanna work with. And lastly, you'll need your pattern. This pattern is available at properfitclothing.com. It's super easy to use. All you have to do is print it off, tape it together, and you're ready to go. Before you tape it together, the best thing to do is to cut off the top and one of the side edges. This is gonna allow you to overlap the pages for a perfectly aligned pattern. And once you have all your supplies gathered and your pattern printed out, it's time to move into cutting.
After taping your pattern together, it should look like this. And for the best results, I recommend checking your printer alignment before you start printing. This will ensure your pattern will print straight. And from here, we're gonna cut on the outside of the black line. And after cutting, you should end up with 4 corner panels cut out of your secondary fabric, 2 top panels cut out of your secondary fabric, and lastly, 2 main panels cut out of your clear transparent vinyl. And if you're not making the clear bag, you don't have to use the clear vinyl. You can use a canvas, denim, twill, or your secondary fabric. Alright, moving on to assembly, we're going to start with their corner panels. Lay them all out flat with the right sides facing up. Using the pattern as a reference, we're going to locate the 1/4 inch hem guide. And simply just fold the diagonal edge of each panel over a 1/4 inch. Feel free to use pins to hold it in place or just stitch as you go. Stitch each panel, locking in that 1/4 inch hem. After finishing, we're going to check each hem to make sure it's stitched properly. And the biggest thing here is you want to make sure each panel is about the exact same shape and size. Go ahead and place these panels off to the side and grab your top 2 panels. Separate them, lay them out flat with right sides facing up. Looking at the pattern, we're going to locate the cut guides and make that small snip on both of the panels. Remember, we're doing this to both panels and both sides. Make sure you don't cut too far because it is a 1/4 inch hem. We're going to cut one more exactly in the middle on both sides. And these snips are going to allow us to fold that edge over a 1/4 inch and still give us a nice crispy pointed edge. This is another one you can stitch as you go or pin it down. Since I'm using a canvas material for this panel, I'm gonna press it out. If the fabric you are using can be pressed, I highly recommend using it. Press both sides of each panel, and from here, we're gonna stitch directly on that hem, just like we did in the previous step. This one is a little bit trickier because it's not a straight edge, so just take your time, go slow, and try to make it look as neat as possible. After finish hemming both of the panels, I like to quickly lay them out and compare both of the panels to make sure they're both the same width and the hems look almost exactly the same. If you're satisfied with your hem, we're going to grab the pattern one more time, locate the hem guide on the top and bottom edge. Essentially, we're going to do the same thing except for on the top and bottom edge. Roll it over a 1/4 inch and press it out. And this is a step you want all these 1/4 inch hems to be exactly the same. We can always correct it once we start sewing it on, but you can place these panels off to the side and grab your main panel. The first step is adding our corner panels, so locate the corner placement guide on the pattern, grab all 4 of your hemmed corner panels, and pretty much what we're going to do is set them in the placement guide area on both of our panels. And the biggest thing here is to make sure the right side of the corner panels is facing the vinyl. With all of the corner panels set, we're going to stitch the outside edge as close as we can to that edge. And the reason we're doing this is that it makes it easier in future steps, so that way we don't have to make sure these are aligned as we're sewing the panels together. It is an extra step, but it actually makes it easier in the long run. After stitching, double check to make sure the right sides are touching the fabric and all the layers are stitched together. If everything is looking good, we can place these panels off to the side and grab both of our top panels. Once again, we're going to lay them out flat with right sides facing up, locate the center fold guide on the pattern, and we're going to use that guide to fold our panels in half. Place a pin to keep the panel folded in half, and you mainly want to make sure the top and bottom edges are perfectly lined up. From here, we can slide them up and grab both of our main panels. The hemmed bottom edge of your top panel should be the same width as the top of your main panel. From here, we're going to place the main panel in between the bottom edge of the top panel. As you can see on the pattern, you attach it to the top edge at a 1/4 inch seam allowance, so only put that main panel in there a 1/4 inch. With the top edge of the main panel sandwiched in between the top panel, we're going to stitch directly in the center of that hem on the top panel. And this is why you want the top panel to be perfectly lined up when you fold it in half, so that way the stitch lines up on both sides. And again, after finishing up the stitch, we're going to double check both sides, make sure all the layers got stitched together. At this point, we can determine the right side of our vinyl is the side that doesn't have the corner panels, so place those 2 sides together, lining up the outside edges on both of our main panels. Before we stitch the outside edge, you want to make sure you start halfway through that top panel, right after the diagonal edge, and also you want to make sure you have the bottom corner panels perfectly lined up. With all this in mind, we're going to stitch the outside edge at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. At the start and the stop when you're stitching halfway through the top panel, make sure you give yourself a nice tack stitch so these layers stay together. And again, take your time when you're working with vinyl. It can be a little bit sticky, so you might have to pull it through your machine. After finishing up the stitch, we're going to double check both sides, make sure the corner panels are lined up, make sure the top panels are lined up. If everything is looking good, we're going to pull the right sides out just to get a look at what it looks like without covering up the outside raw edges. If you're satisfied with this look, you can totally skip ahead to where we add the eyelets. But if you don't like that raw edge on the inside, I'm going to run you through a few different techniques on adding double fold bias tape to that raw edge. The first method is using a bias tape making kit. In this technique, you make your own double-sided bias tape to the size and fabric you want to use. All you do is cut your strips, feed it through your folder, and press it when it comes out the folder. It's very easy to do, and you get to customize the bias tape to your exact measurements. The second technique is using a double fold bias tape binder. This is the most efficient technique. You cut your strips, feed it through your binder, and sew it directly to your raw edge. And the last technique is using pre-made double fold bias tape. You are limited to colors, but it's very easy to use. You fold it over the edge and stitch it down. And you want to make sure you apply it all the way around the outside edge. I'm going to be using the double fold bias tape attachment. If you plan on making a lot of bags, I highly recommend looking into this. It gives the nicest end product and cuts down production time. With whatever method you choose, you want to make sure you give yourself at least 1.5 inches at both ends. You can cut it shorter, you just want to give yourself enough room to fold those ends over and tack stitch them down. With our bias tape on and our ends tacked down, we're going to flip the right sides out. As you can see, this gives a whole different look to the bag when you clean up that inside edge and add the double fold bias tape. All in all, it really depends on what look you're going for, and from here we're going to grab our pattern and find our eyelet placement guides. Mark out the eyelet placement guides in the center of our quarter panels, grab your eyelets. When it comes to the size of the eyelet, you can realistically choose any size you want. I'm actually going to be using a little bit bigger size. It's a 5/16. It really just depends on what size cord you're using. As long as your cord can fit through the eyelet, you're good to go. When it comes to cutting the holes for the eyelet to go through, you can either use scissors or a punch. The most efficient technique is using a punch, and these typically come with eyelet kits. Next, we're going to place the eyelet through the opening and add the back on the opposite side. When it comes to securing the eyelet down, you can either use a hammer die or a press die. I'm going to be using a hammer die. These also come with eyelet kits. You feed it through the back and hammer it down. Super easy to do, and overall they look really nice. Repeat this process for the opposite side. With both eyelets in, we're just going to test them to make sure they're fully secured down, and from here we're going to place this off to the side and grab our cord. I'm just using a standard paracord. It's super easy to work with and very durable. Start by feeding it through one side of the top panel from left to right. Pull the end out about 1 foot to 1.5 feet, and we're going to feed that end through the opposite top panel, going from right to left. I recommend putting a safety pin or something on the end of that cord to make it easier to slide through that opening. Pull the end out as far as you would like, and this is where you're going to have to start playing around with the length. I typically just do 1 yard of cord per side. I would even recommend starting at 2 yards per side and trimming it down from there. Overall, adding more will change the fit and make it a little bit bigger. Once you have the length figured out, we're going to feed one end of the cord through the eyelet and tie a knot. And another reason I like using paracord is because it's mainly nylon and you can burn the ends for a nice clean finish. And I even like to melt the ends together so the knot stays tied. At this point, you can kind of see how big the straps are going to be, and if you're satisfied with that length, cut the exact length cord for the opposite side and do the same thing. But we're going to do it from the opposite side, so feed it from right to left, pull it out and feed it through the opposite top panel from left to right. Pull equal parts out, feed it through your eyelet, tie a knot, and cinch the ends. And there you go, both of your straps are complete. I recommend trying it on, and from here you can kind of fine tune it to your preferences. I personally like using this technique because it's super easy to close the bag. You just pull each side and it closes tight. And if your bag is a little bit harder to close, it's probably because you're using a higher mil vinyl, meaning the vinyl is a little bit thicker, and I recommend using a mid-weight vinyl. Lastly, we're going to add our branding. I just added mine to the center of the bag. I'm using a piece of branded leather. I personally like to do this because then I can clip things to that leather and make it a useful feature. And real quick, the last thing I want to go over, you can scale this bag very easily as long as the top panel matches the width of the main panel. You can pretty much scale this to whatever size you want. The only reason why we have it this size is because it's the correct dimensions if you want to get this bag into an event. But if you're using this bag for any other use, definitely scale it to your custom measurements.
And there you have it, your clear concert bag is complete. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. And the reason I did this one is that it's a super simple design. It's more like a foundation pattern. You can add layers to this and build off of it and make it your own. But other than that, I hope you found this video somewhat helpful. I always like to see how your projects turn out, so tag me on Instagram at Properfit Clothing. But until then, I'm gonna keep the videos coming at you, so I'll see you next time.